Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Derek Martinez. Dementi's restaurant in West Hazelton is once again opening their ice bar to the public. The ice bar is located right next to the restaurant and includes the Ice for You to See exhibit, which features a wide array of ice sculptures on display. This year, Dementi's is partnering with the Hazelton Art League to involve local talent with the ice bar. This year's theme is the Zodiac, and each sculpture is inspired by artwork done by members of the Art League. We spoke to Kevin McDonald, the owner of Dementi's restaurant, who told us more about the unique ice sculptures.
Well, this is just under 20 tons of ice that my friends and comrades have been carving for the past week, and it fits in here nicely. The theme this year is the Zodiac, and each month is represented by a different sculpture. And it was a good idea. Jeff came up with the idea. He's pretty much in charge of the project as far as getting all the carvers and coordinating the time schedule. And that's gone well. Everybody's been having a good time. I get cold out here anymore. I've seen minus 45 in Fairbanks, Alaska, but this is cold.
McDonald also told us about how the ice bar started at the restaurant.
This started as a birthday gift to my daughter when she was 3 years old. I built a small castle and with a throne in it, and everybody liked it. The customers liked it, and kids from the neighborhood who we didn't even think were in the neighborhood came around, and of course next year Daddy had to build a bigger one, which we did, and then started this monster. And we've produced the national championships in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Lackawanna Stadium. We've been doing ice for a long, long time.
We also spoke with one of the ice sculptors, Bill Bywater, who came by Dementi's all the way from New Windsor in upstate New York. Bywater told us about how he got his start in ice sculpting.
Yeah, I've got a bachelor's in sculpture from the College of St. Rose in Albany, and my first apartment was above a restaurant in Newburgh. They were invited to come out to one of Dementi's events, and most ice carvers are chefs, and they were great chefs, but they really weren't ice carvers. So I came out to Dementi's, did an ice sculpture, did pretty well, but more importantly, I got to use the tools that were specific to ice carving and learn more about them at the event. Kept coming back each year, so I've been ice carving for 35 years.
Several sculptors came to Dementi's to contribute to the ice bar, and each piece takes a good amount of time to get just right.
Each one is going to take about 6 to 8 hours. We had a bunch of ice carvers in here earlier in the week. We're doing the last couple right now. Maybe 4 hours, maybe 8 hours, something like that.
Although Bywater has been ice sculpting for over 30 years, he said there are still new things he learns with each job.
Well, it's learning all the new tools. Like even today I picked up a couple tips. There's a really small detailing knife. It's called a keyhole saw, which is a carpentry tool, but here we're using it to scrape the edge and create like a soft texture on some of the finished pieces. Also one of the power air blows just to clean the snow off of. Every now and then I'll treat myself to a couple new tools, so I gotta pick up those again as soon as I'm out of here.
Dementi's ice bar is open daily beginning at 5 p.m. The Hazelton Art League will be at the ice bar from now through January 30th.
Come on in. It's all family friendly. You can sit on some of the benches, take a photograph in front of the other ice carvings. There'll be adult beverages during the bar hours. I'm sure you can get something non-alcoholic, but it's very photograph friendly. Come in, engage with them, you can touch them, everything's strong enough. If you see a throne, you can sit in it. Don't climb on the pieces, but enjoy them. Thank you.
Dementi's restaurant is located at 5 Bowman's Mill Road in West Hazelton. The Hazelton City Council will be hosting a meeting at Hazelton City Hall on Tuesday, January 14th at 6 p.m. During the meeting, the council will be discussing a proposed ordinance to place a government study commission question on the 2025 primary election ballot. The ordinance comes after the U.S. Department of Justice filed a lawsuit on Tuesday, January 7th, against the city of Hazelton regarding an alleged violation of the Voting Rights Act. According to a press release, the lawsuit alleges that the city's current at-large method of electing city council members results in Hispanic citizens having less opportunity than others to participate in the political process. City officials say the proposed government study commission would address the DOJ's concerns as well as the implementation of other governmental options that are available. City Council meetings are open to the public and take place at Hazleton City Hall. City Hall is located at 40 North Church Street in Hazleton. Pennsylvania State Police are investigating a deadly shooting that took place in Avoca Saturday morning. According to officials, troopers were dispatched to the scene at the 800 block of Main Street around 4 a.m. for reports of a shooting. Avoca Police, DuPont Borough Police, and the Luzerne County Coroner also responded to the scene. Officials say one person has died as a result of the shooting. The incident is still under investigation and details are limited at this time. However, troopers say there is no threat to the public. Stay tuned on WYLN News for updates on this developing story. Coming up on WYLN News, Congressman Dan Muser visits the Emmanuel Christian School in Hazleton. Plus, a ceremonial swearing-in ceremony is held for Congressman Rob Bresnahan in Wilkes-Barre. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's only nationally ranked hospital. We turn setbacks into comebacks one movement at a time. Learn more at lvhn.org/ortho or 833-LV-ORTHO.
My name is Andy, and tomorrow's going to be partly cloudy.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Welcome back to WYLN News. Congressman Dan Muser visited the Emmanuel Christian School in Hazleton on Friday. The visit came after Muser helped the school secure funding earlier this month to keep their doors open for the remainder of the school year. Prior to receiving COVID relief funding, officials say the school was planning to close their doors in December due to a lack of funds. In a Facebook post, Muser said that the school is an important institution in Luzerne County and that he was pleased to have played a role in keeping its mission alive. Congressman Rob Bresnahan held a swearing-in ceremony on Saturday, January 11th at the Luzerne County Courthouse. Bresnahan recently took the oath of office in Washington, D.C. as a member of Congress on January 3rd and returned to Luzerne County to pay tribute to the region from which he originated. Speakers at the event include Wilkes-Barre Mayor George Brown, Father Joe Elston of St. John the Evangelist Church, former Nanticoke Mayor Joe Daugherty, State Senator Lisa Baker, and Congressman Dan Muser. As a new member of the 119th Congress, Bresnahan was chosen to serve on the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure, the House Committee on Agriculture, and the House Committee on Small Business. Bresnahan will be representing the 8th District in Pennsylvania, which includes eastern Luzerne County and all of Wayne, Pike, and Lackawanna counties. Representative Dane Watrow has loaned several items from his time serving in the U.S. Army to the Pennsylvania House Archives. The items will be part of the Salute to Service exhibit, which covers major American military conflicts from the American Revolution to modern Middle Eastern conflicts. The exhibit identifies current and former House members who have served in the military, including Representative Watrow. Watrow's contribution to the exhibit includes his military police armband and combat helmet from his tour of duty in Iraq while serving with the U.S. Army. Watrow enlisted in the Army after graduating from the Hazleton Area High School in 1995, where he was stationed at Fort Hood in Texas. He later re-enlisted when Operation Iraqi Freedom began in 2003, where he was selected to be part of the American unit that guarded Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein. The Pennsylvania House Archives are located in room 628 of the Irvis Office Building at the State Capitol Complex in Harrisburg. Wyln is bringing Hazleton area basketball into your living room this season. You can catch the Hazleton area boys basketball team on Tuesday, January 21st, as they take on the Crestwood Comets at 7 p.m. Or you can catch the Hazleton area girls basketball team on Thursday, January 23rd at 7 p.m. as they face the Wilkes-Barre Wolfpack. Watch the games live on Wyln or watch them anytime on the Wyln TV 35 YouTube channel. Coming up on Tamaulipa's News Choice, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Sunbury Part 1. Plus, we check in with Luzerne County Manager Romilda Crocomo on Crocomo's County Report. And stay right here on Wyln. We'll be right back.
You will love the feel-good feeling you get when you shop at Grand Central in Nescopeck and Hazleton. You will enjoy a no-pressure professional sales staff, experienced delivery crew, service after the sale,
and don't forget, everyday low prices.
No matter what you're shopping for in your home, we have you covered with top brand names like Flex Steel, Lazy Boy England, and Dillon Custom Rugs.
With our enormous selection and the flexibility to finance interest-free for up to 60 months, Grand Central makes it easy to make your house a home.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Like and follow Wyln News on Facebook for the Wyln News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
Cooking rice just isn't nice.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Rice Robot, the 1, 2, 3 rice cooker. Watch, 1 add the white cup for rice, 2 add the blue cup for water, 3 click it and let Rice Robot perfectly cook it.
The secret is Perfect Cook technology that surrounds the rice with controlled heat for even cooking. Then Rice Robot senses when it's done, auto stops and keeps it warm to serve.
It won't burn, overcook or undercook, guaranteed.
And rice is just the beginning. Make mac and cheese, frittatas, oatmeals, soups and stews, even ramen dishes. And with a ceramic, ultra non-stick interior, cleanup's a breeze.
Get the complete Rice Robot cooking system with the steamer tray and 1-2-3 recipe guide, all for just $39.99. It comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. We'll even ship your entire order free. Order now.
1-800-640-8545.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Brianna was hurting for 2 years. Her doctor tried all these different pills, no better. She had never really wanted to see a chiropractor because she was afraid. Dr. Kraus referred her. In 2 weeks, she feels better after 2 years of pain. Check our show.
A Path Through History is sponsored by the Old Jail Museum, 128 West Broad Street in Jim Thorpe. Call 570-325-5259 or visit them online at theoldjailmuseum.com.
The land at the confluence of the Susquehanna River's north and west branches had always been strategically important to Pennsylvania's Native Americans. The waterways allowed them to reach most of today's state, and trails branched off from the confluence's area in all directions. From 1727 to 1756, the area, at the time called Shamokin before the eventual town that rose 17 miles to the east would get that name, was one of the most prominent Native communities in the state, home to about 300 residents, including Delaware tribe members displaced by the infamous walking purchase from their homelands farther east. Among the most prominent frequent residents was the Oneida chief Shikellamy, who served as the Iroquois Six Nations ambassador to the colonial Pennsylvania government. Shikellamy frequently worked with colonial diplomat Conrad Weiser, often guiding him through Iroquois country, including the central Susquehanna Valley, on his missions. It is in Shikellamy's honor that the current town of Sunbury's High School was named. In 1756, while most of the natives' lands west of the Susquehanna was sold to Pennsylvania, those in the then Shamokin area retained control of their property. Within a few years, however, what is known in America as the French and Indian War broke out, and the confluence of the Susquehanna's branches was a militarily strategic location. British officers, wanting to protect their colonists from French and native raiders from the upper Allegheny region, built a series of 12 forts along the river, all the way up to near today's Lock Haven, with the largest and southernmost one in Shamokin. Built by Colonel William Clapham in 1756, it was named Fort Augusta in honor of George III's mother, Augusta of Saxe-Coburg. The fort was built so strongly that it was never placed under siege. While the French and their native allies did float cannons down the Susquehanna to try and conquer it, they found upon reaching the site that they would not be able to damage it at all. When Northumberland County was formed in 1772, its first councils met at Fort Augusta, and the fort's powder magazine was the first county jail. During the Revolution, Fort Augusta was taken over by American forces and served as the Patriots' military headquarters for the Susquehanna Valley. In this capacity, it became a place of safety for refugees escaping native attacks in the Wyoming Valley in 1778, an exodus known as the Big Runaway. Fort Augusta would be decommissioned and dismantled in 1796. Today, the property is owned by the Northumberland County Historical Society, which runs a museum in the adjacent Hunter House, which was built by descendants of the fort's last commander, Colonel Sam Hunter. Troops who stepped outside Fort Augusta's walls during its heyday, however, were not as safe. This was a lesson found out the hard way by garrison member James Patton, who in the spring of 1756 was tending the fort's cow herd. Unarmed, he stopped by a spring for a drink, when he was set upon by two native fighters who were looking for two other soldiers from the fort. They shot and scalped him, and the dying Patton's blood spilled into the water, turning it bright red. Since that day, the spring is known as Bloody Spring. When Northumberland County was formed, the then Shamokin was named the county seat. It was at this time that the nation's community name would be changed to Sunbury, after the town of Sunbury-on-Thames, just outside London. Thus, today's Sunbury cites 1772 as its official beginning. The community grew slowly but surely in the decades that followed. In 1775, the streets of the town would be laid out by William Maclay, a veteran of the French and Indian War and the subsequent Pontiac's Rebellion. Maclay lived in Sunbury from 1773 to 1786, after which he moved down to Dauphin County and helped his grandfather-in-law, John Harris Sr., lay out Harrisburg. In 1789, Maclay would have the honor of being one of Pennsylvania's first two senators to serve in the U.S. Senate under the Constitution. Maclay, however, lost the lottery with the other original Pennsylvania senator, Robert Morris, and would serve only a 2-year term in the Senate instead of a typical 6-year term. He would make the most of his time in Congress, though, becoming an outspoken critic of George Washington's policies. After leaving the Senate in 1791, Maclay remained active in politics, serving 4 terms in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives and as a presidential elector for Thomas Jefferson in the 1796 election. William Maclay died in 1804. His house in Sunbury on Arch and Front Street still stands today, now known as the Maclay-Wolverton House. From 1811 to 1818, Sunbury had a celebrity in its midst, Lorenzo da Ponte, former librettist to Mozart, who collaborated with the latter in many of his best-known operas, including Don Giovanni and The Marriage of Figaro. Fleeing his native Italy to avoid outstanding debts, DuPont lived a much more mundane existence in Sunbury as a grocer and distiller. He would build the first three-story brick building in the community in 1814 at the corner of Market and 3rd Streets. Having fallen further into debt as his businesses failed, DuPont moved on to New York City in 1818, where he would go on to teach Italian literature at Columbia and built the first custom-made opera house in the United States. 1812 would also see an unusual confrontation at the Donnell House in Sunbury. General Hugh Brady and Captain Daniel Levy came to the tavern following a parade and sat down at a table to have a drink. At some point, for reasons not clear, things became heated between the two men until they each pulled out their swords and started dueling. Across the room, the two men fought, Brady wounding Levy in the shoulder and shattering his opponent's sword handle. Brady's subsequent parry shattered his sword against the windowsill, and it was at this point that bartender Michael Kutzner and bystander Samuel All intervened to stop the fight. Calm was quickly restored between the two combatants thereafter. Although more of a barroom brawl, Brady and Levy's fight is sometimes referred to as the last duel fought in Pennsylvania. As the 19th century progressed, railroads rose in prominence across America. The Sunbury area, with its location at both major land and water crossroads, was a natural junction point for the iron rails. Beginning in 1858, Sunbury would be the northern terminus of the Northern Central Railway, a longtime subsidiary of the Pennsylvania Railroad, which stretched south to Baltimore. It operated for 134 years until its tracks were washed out by Hurricane Agnes in 1972, and its then parent company Penn Central decided not to rebuild. 5 other major railroads would run out of Sunbury throughout the 19th century: the Danville and Pottsville, Philadelphia and Erie, Sunbury, Hazleton and Wilkes-Barre, Sunbury, Lewistown, and Philadelphia and Reading. Many of these lines would also be consolidated into the Pennsylvania Railroad system. It would be in fact on the Pennsylvania Railroad near Sunbury, on the former Sunbury and Lewistown's line, that the first modern crossbucks would be introduced at railroad crossings in 1917. The railroads became one of Sunbury's biggest employers through the years. The Pennsylvania Railroad in 1872 built a large roundhouse in Sunbury and Packer Street. It had space for 36 locomotives. Operations there moved to Northumberland in 1911 when a new roundhouse was built there. The Sunbury Roundhouse was torn down in 1936.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Hello, I'm WYLN historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
Welcome back to Crocomo's County Report. I'm joined as always with Luzerne County Manager Romelda Crocomo. Romelda, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We're starting a new year. You said the first council meeting of the new year is coming up.
January 14th, second Tuesday and fourth Tuesday of the month. So the second Tuesday of this month is January 14th, and that's when our first council meeting will be held.
And you were telling me before we went on air, there's all kinds of exciting things coming in 2024 that you're...
2025.
2025.
Yeah, there were exciting things in 2024 as well, but we're going to have some initiatives in 2025. We are upgrading our website. It will be more user-friendly, and we'll build the intranet so we can have better communications within the county staff. But we are going to upgrade our website so that it will be more accessible to users, as well as some fun things. We'll do virtual tours of the courthouse and the monuments on the South Lawn. We also we're starting an initiative of starting to bundle our bridges so that we can start a maintenance program on our bridges so that we don't get into a predicament where our bridges are just ignored and then they have to be replaced. We want to take care of what we have. And then finally, one that I'm really excited about is in 2026, actually. It will be the 240th anniversary of the founding of Luzerne County, and we're starting to plan some celebrations for 2026, and I'm really looking forward to that.
So it's going to be a busy year.
Busy year, absolutely busy. We have a lot of projects, even road projects that will start in the spring and the summer. So we're going to be very, very busy. Plus, there is going to be a municipal election this year, primary and then the general election. And this year we're going to have a judicial seat. We are getting a new judge. The judge will take his or her seat January 1st of 2026, but that position will be on the ballot.
So lots to look forward to.
Lots to look forward to. Very busy.
Well, I think that's going to do it for another edition of Crocomo's County Report. We'll see you next time.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.